Good morning and very warm welcome to the most incredible webinar, a workshop on full stack development application using Django in order to accelerate our knowledge. Department of Computer Science under the aegis of DPT Star Status and Star Scheme organized this most amazing workshop. I, Twinkle, is super excited to introduce our resource person for today's event. He is none other than very talented, skilled, learned Amit Jabariya, who is organizer of Developer School Club and also published a paper on a survey of mental health, and he is also included in Bone Ed project, which got shortlisted at the college level for the Ministry of Human Resources. And he is also specialization in computer language like Java, Python, data frame, Django languages. Uh, s- so please welcome very skilled Amit sir with a huge round of applause. And I also welcome all the Mvt and student of KC College on this workshop. Thank you. Over to sir.
Thanks a lot for the introduction. Hello everyone, I'm Amit Chabria. So let's get started with today's workshop. I will just present my screen. I hope I'm audible, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, is my screen visible?
Yes.
So let's get started. So today we have a workshop on Django. So currently, like in the right hand side, you can see that there is a image of a screen. It's like what is visible is our last end project that we are going to build. So basically, like today after the session, like we will be able to build a to-do application here, and let's see with the endings. So today's agenda, like basically our today's agenda will be to know about Django, what is actual Django and its architecture, what is the main architecture of the Django, and how can we look into the Django perspective, and a lot of small tips and tricks that how can you just improvise your actual working, like actual experience. And then after the introduction, we can go towards the getting started, how to set up the virtual environment. And I will explain you a little bit about the virtual environment as well, like what is actual virtual environment, how to set up the actual project of Django, and then we'll do a little bit of coding and all. And then after the completing of the website, like final conclusion will be like pushing the data to our GitHub as well. Like GitHub is something an open source where you can push your data and lots more. Like GitHub is not only just keeping your data there, but also to like you can clone your repository. Like most of the companies, they use GitHub in their day-to-day daily life. And there is a lot more in GitHub. Like we will be just getting started with it. So yeah, let's move on. So before coming to the Django, like introduction to Django, I would just like to ask you, like any one of you have an idea about Django as such? You can just type it in the chat box. It's fine. Yes or no, anything is fine. Yeah, it's a framework for Python. Okay, so basically you have not much. Yeah, we'll get into it for sure. If you don't have any idea to web building apps and application, yes, yeah. Latest website application to develop, yeah, and a lot more. So let's move on. Like as one of them told me, like in the chat box itself, like it is written that Python framework to build a web application. So it's a framework, like you have a basic glimpse of framework. So let's move on and see what is actual a framework. So basically Django uses a framework, and there are a lot of things like Laravel is also a framework based on PHP, and here Django is based on it uses a language of Python. So what is this framework? Firstly, like this framework is nothing but a framework is used to ease, like as you can see in the screen, it's a like basic definition of the framework, but out of the box, like what is actual framework? So basically a framework is which helps a developer to to develop a website which actually gives us a basic path which already gives us a manage.py. In the Django, we use manage.py. It gives us the setting that to scale the project too easily and to help us to how to build the application. It basically helps the developer to ease their life and to build a wonderful and expenditure website where a user will be able to like access each and every pages easily, and from the developer perspective also it becomes very easier to like go through the actual architecture of the Django and then to move on. So like the basic definition is in front of you. Like it's from with the help of framework, it becomes easier, faster, and scalable and reliable. It's reliable because when it comes to the framework, the security perspective they keep in the mind and they build our framework. Whereas if you use different types of normal applications, like without using a framework, you have to like build your own security perspective with using the tokens or as well in the forms. So in the framework, they have much more included certain libraries for us to make it easier for the developer as well. So if you're a starter, then it's like really good to have to know about the framework, be it a Django or a lot more. So this was the basic idea of the framework. Actually, what is framework in a brief cut short piece of cake. So let's move on towards the next website. Next page. That is what is Django. So basically, like now we know framework. Now after coming the framework, let's look into actually what is Django. I hope the concept of framework is understood to you. If nothing, then you can just post it in the chat about your queries and I will just answer it. So that's it. Then let's move on to what is Django. So basically, like Django, as most of you have like entered in the chat box as well, like it's a build like Python framework to build website apps, and it's a framework for Python. So this framework basically uses Python. You have a little bit of idea as such right now. After knowing actually what is the framework, then now like what is framework you understood, then what is Django? Django is a framework where it uses Mvt. Now Mvt, you don't have any idea as such. I will be letting you know in our upcoming slide, but Mvt, just keep in mind, it's an architecture which is on which this actual whole Django web like framework is developed. Mvt is module, then model, view, and template. We will look into it in our upcoming slides for sure, and you will be getting know a lot about Mvt. And this Mvt is basically the skeleton of Django whole framework. If you understood the basics of the Mvt, then you will be able to like look into the other perspective of Django as well. So yeah, so this like Django uses a basic framework of Mvt architecture pattern, and it also like if you are using Django, then it's easier to maintain as such. But whereas if you are using Node.js, so to maintenance of the actual website will be a little bit difficult. But also there are certain packages in Node.js, not as such that I'm comparing between them, but yeah, if you are using Django, then it will be much easier comparatively. So to maintain these websites are also plays an important role when it comes to a great large scale project. At that time, you have to look into the maintenance of the website, because there are certain times when you have to like update certain modules each and every period of time. So that's why maintenance of the website plays a major role in all of this. So there are a lot of things like when it comes to the actual like forms. So if you're creating a form at that moment, like you have to look into a lot, like so forms, when we do a get request and a post request as well, it's a good practice to use a token, like to tokenize your actual framework, where cross-site scripting comes into the picture. Like what is now cross-site scripting? To give you a brief and simple explanation on cross-site scripting, like is if you know a basics of get and post request, like how it works, then like it's preferred that if the data is being like encrypted and then passed it on to the another page, then it's like kind of safe. Like the attacker won't be able to attack a lot. That's why. So yeah, so in Django, like it's a framework. That's why they have already built in a cross-site scripting token in it. And yeah, which makes it easier for the developer also to like don't have to look much into the actual cross-site scripting perspective. Instead of that, they have to just focus on the actual development of the website. So yeah, that's the Django part. If anyone has doubt here, they can ask in the chat box. If nothing, then we will just move on. We'll just wait for 1 minute or so, and we will move on. Okay, I hope so. No one has any doubt. So yeah, let's move on. So let's come to the firstly, let's come here like the basic difference of what is Django and Flask. Now, if you're a Python developer and you're developing a website, most of the time these two frameworks are very famous as such. So which one should you use? So there comes a picture, a glimpse of which one should be used. Like this is a basic differentiation between Django and Flask. So for the both are the frameworks for sure. Like firstly, the Django framework gives a full stack web development framework, whereas it also includes the basic the supports of all the different types of database. If you have learned or else if you just know a basics of the database, then I would like to add like if there is a SQL database or Oracle database and a lot different types of SQL Alchemy database, that there are a lot of databases. So if you're using a framework of Django, so it will just support all the types of different databases. Like you have to just go into the settings.py file of the Django, of the Django actual, pages. And then you will be able to you have to do different certain changes in the settings.py file, and you will be able to set up the SQL database, Oracle database, and different types of database in it. Like you can just integrate with them. But whereas in Flask, it do not support the basic database management. It uses only SQL Alchemy for the database requirement, which has a different lag behind. But yeah, you can use Flask also. Like if you're trying to build a main scalable website, so you should go to the Django perspective. And if you're using a Flask website, you can go if you're building a small scale application, not a big application, then you can go for a Flask website as well. So here, like in Django, it uses it's suitable for the multiple pages application as well. Whereas in Flask, you will be able to just it's only suitable for a single page application. You can if you want to you can go from one page to another page as well in Flask, but it's a kind of tedious job. Whereas in Django, you have to just follow that Mvt architecture and you can just get going into it. So here in Django, Mvt architecture plays a major and a very important role. So there are a lot of things in Django, best features are open source Git community. If you're stuck in between somewhere, then you can just go to the open source community and then you can just in the community part, and there you can just type out your actual errors and you can get a lot of information from there. Like basically, if you are facing an error, you can go to the community page and then you can just post your doubts. Hi, I am this, I have this doubt, and someone will be there for sure to answer you. Or else there are multiple websites of Stack Overflow, and then there are multiple websites of to clarify your doubt, and there are multiple blogs, a lot of blogs available in the Google. If you want to you can get a lot of idea from there, and it's easier to develop as well on Django, and it's easy to learn as well. Whereas in Flask, if we look into the Flask, it's a minimal feature, full control to the development perspective, but only for the single site application page. That's the issue. It's lightweighted, agreed. But because you are going for a small scale application, then only I'll say that you go for a Flask framework, or else you should stick to the Django part. Even though it's lightweighted, but they say that Django is not that lightweighted. But yeah, it's little bit it gives a laggy stuff, but it's fine. But it's only for a large scale application. But if you're using Django for a small scale application, it will work minimal and very speed, and it will be very smooth as well. So don't be that hesitated that what should be used, Django or Flask as such. So this presentation, if someone wants, then I will just mail to you all and you can access it from there. So this was the basic differentiation between Django and Flask, and these two are the major major frameworks that are used in Python for in like today's time. If you can look, if you know a little bit of REST API from Django, you can make a REST API as well. And if you want to integrate your actual ML model into a Django framework, you can do as well in the Django Django framework. And if you want to create, there is a multiple, like if you are more into the REST API perspective, then you can, like if you're focused on the actual REST API concepts, then you can go for Flask as well. Or there is another framework known as REST API, Fast API. So the name is actual Fast API, which is actually used. It's only the main objective of the Fast API is to make the APIs available for each and everyone in the market for the another application. So now what is I just told you gave you told you give you a word of REST API, right? So what is actual REST API? So the REST API is nothing but basically if you are creating a application, so there are multiple times if you are building a website on Django, so you have, once your website is ready, then you can move on to the applications. Like if you want to make a mobile application as well of the same website, so at that moment you can keep a data at a single place, and then from that database, you can access same data from Django, and also you can access same data from different frameworks. For Android development, it's Android Studio. You can also go and access that data from that database. So for that perspective, you have to build a REST API to get the data. Like if you have a database in middle, from there, you can get the data from the you can actually get the data from your website. For is it a Django or a Flask? You can fetch the data and then you can use it on your templates of the HTML page, and or else whatever page you are building up, you can use there. And if you're if you have created a REST API as well for this thing, then you can just use that data in the mobile applications as well. So Django, you can create APIs, these REST APIs are created in Django or as well. So it makes actual basic, gives you a basic example, how should we work, what will be the actual go through of these REST API as well, and how can we develop for a multiple, basically I will just see, if you're going to the actual main screen, you are looking for a big end project, major project, then you can just make the REST APIs. You can use of REST APIs, you can use of these Django's REST API, and then you can pass the data from one application to the another application. You can use that same data into the third application. So that's how actually the REST API part works here. So yeah, that's it from the basic differentiation of Django and Flask. If anyone has any doubt, then they can just post it in the chat. For sure, I will be able to answer it. Okay, let's wait for a second or a minute, then we will start. Let's look out if anyone has any doubt as such, then we can look into it. If anyone has any, if anyone haven't understood the basics of these two perspective, okay, just a second. Yeah, what is Django and what is Flask? If anyone I will happily able to repeat it if no one has understood it then. Okay, if no one is texting, that means hopefully that everyone has understood what is the basics of what is actual Django and what is. So I can't get the REST API concept. Okay, sure. So I will do one thing, for the easy perspective, I'll just go and make a normal paint. Okay, so hope my paint screen is visible. You can just type yes in the chat. Yeah. So we'll just take a pencil. So see, basically what is this? Suppose this is your database. Let's name it as DB. And this is your website. Let's give it as WD. Okay, don't go on the, I'm not usually, I don't draw it on paint. And this is our app. So now what is REST API? I'll just give you a small basic glimpse about it. So see, this is your database. firstly, when you are creating an application, at that moment, if you're thinking like you don't want an application as such in your mind, like just keep this part, like keep this in your mind. Like currently you're not building this application, you're just focusing on a Django framework and you're just building that project. So currently, like if this is the database, you have just created a like you have just created a website, and then you're just dumping your data into the database once, and like you are doing just retrieval and then multiple code processes like root processes, create, update, and delete, and you're just putting it into a database. But now once you are done with this, then you think like, okay, now we should actually build a web application as well. So if you are building a web application, now you have two options. One is basically, if you are making a web application, you can create another database for the same application, or else if you want to scale it a really hard time, then you can do one thing, like you can just use this database in your application. If there is a user who has created his account on website, and they're like, if the same user wants to use that simple data, like if he has updated something in a to-do list, like he says that I want to do basically today I want to eat a cake. So if he adds in the to-do list from our web application using Django that we have created, and then he thinks that, okay, like the whole data should be synced up with that application as well. So if he is also using an application at his or her phone, so what they can do is, like, you can take that data. Now he has typed that I want to eat a cake. It will get stored into a database in his to-do app. And then from there, you can just sync that data into your web app, like your actual phone application. So here, what is happening is, like, you are just creating an REST API where you can just create REST API in the backend of Django, where you will say, like, if someone is updating, if a user is updating the data, so it will be get stored into the database. And from that from that REST API, from that REST API, you will be able to access that data from in your web phone application as well. So from the if you are updating anything, like if you are doing code operation, like from your web mobile application, at that moment you can just make a REST API from the phone application, and you can pass it into the same database, and from there you can fetch it and update it on your website. So this was the basic glimpse of REST API, like how can you and there is not just this thing, like there is a lot of more things. I just give you a simple basic example. I hope that this would have helped you and give you a basic idea of what is what is actually a REST API as such. So this was it. I hope it's understood. Okay, for sure. So let's close this and move on to our application. Don't save. Yeah. So this was our basic, and I hope that you understood the basic concepts of differentiation of Django and Flask as well. Just a second. Okay, so let's start presenting again. I'll just close the chat box. Present. Yeah. So let's move on. So now let's come to our actual Mvt architecture, which is the main backbone of Django. Like, I hope I'm audible, right? Yeah, I hope so. I'm audible. Yeah. So let's move on to the most basic and the most Mvt architecture. What's Mvt architecture now? So if anyone asks you what is actual Mvt architecture in Django, just keep in mind M stands for model, V stands for view, and T stands for template. Now, in a layman language, I will just say, like, if M stands for model, that means the database skeleton. That is like, how will your actual database look like? If you all know, right? If we have a database, then we just make first the columns, like we'll just name the columns, like how it actually looks like. So all those things will come under model perspective. And then we are using Python framework. So obviously we have to apply some logics, like if we are doing code operation as well, like create, update, and delete operations, then at that moment, the whole logic will be written in views page. And then like the basic front end part will be written in templates page. So I will just like make another this like I will just use okay. Oops, yeah, I'll just use paint and I will try to explain you. Let's move on to our page. So suppose this is our M like model. And then it comes template. This is our Mvt architecture. So while you are developing, firstly, you need obviously a basic database where you will be able to store the whole data into the database. That will be your model, which will help you to like store and gather all the databases. And the logic that I told you, like the whole logic will be written in the view.py page that is available in the Django. And then there will be a template page. So if a user wants to update anything, so first it will like for the user, we will only having the templates, right? The whole HTML code is written in the like template page. So user will be able to like see only the template page. So the basic logic is if user is clicking a button, then it will go to the views page. And on that button click, if anything is happening, like if we are trying to retrieve some data, so at that moment, views will go to the model and ask for the data. And then like though the same model that the database will send the data to the views page again. And from there, we can pass that data like from then like it's a Django, then we'll create a function and we'll return the values. And from that data, we'll pass to the template page again. And we'll show it in the front end. Like we'll show that data in the front end. So this is how actually the Mvt works. So as you can see here also, okay, someone has raised the hand. Anyone has any doubt? Okay, I don't feel so. No clear. Okay, sure. So let's move on to the, is it no clear, you didn't understood, or it's clear? Like if you have any doubt, then you can ask. So I will just explain again the Mvt architecture here with respect to this actual like image. So here, as you can see, like user has entered an input and then that input goes into the views.py. Like py is the basic page that is in our Django like framework. So we will take that views.py page and then from there, like we will get to the model part and then design and update. Like update our whole database, whatever we need to update it there, and we will update it. So this will be the design and updation part. And then like after the complete data, like if you want to retrieve it, then the complete data will be get gathered into the views page again. And then from templates, we will be displaying that database. I hope like if anyone has any doubt in this, please ask me again and again. I won't mind saying it like multiple times. But Mvt architecture is the main architecture that like that will actually give you a basic glimpse like how actual Django framework works. Because this architecture is the main architecture and it's a backbone. Like if this is not clear, then you can like you won't be able to understand for like whatever we are gonna do ahead in today's workshop. So I will ask you like if anyone has any doubt, please like post it in the chat box. I'll ask like if anyone haven't understood anything, then they can just type it in the chat box. I will try like I will repeat it again and again. I won't mind so. Okay, so MVC, like difference between, okay, someone has posted a great question like Mvt and Mvc. So see, like Mvt is the backbone of Django framework and Mvc is a backbone of Laravel framework, where Mvc is model, view and controller. And here Mvt is model, view and template. So controller here that all the routes are being like traveled in the like MVC is used for PHP type frameworks, that is Laravel. I've used that also. That's why most of like I have to like do multiple work in both of them. So that's why like controller is the basic, like there they use some different perspective to like the architecture is a little bit similar. Like both have the same architecture, I won't say, but the actual concept is a little bit different. Their MVC is like the C stands for controller and M stands for model. The basic thing is same. Like the model will store the data and it will go to the V and then it will go to the controller. The controller will state your all the logics and all, and it will show into the basic like website, the view page. Here T stands for templates and there C stands for controller, nothing else. So the architecture is same. They have just like, as it's a like Django framework, so they thought of it that we should keep give it a some different like name as such. So that's why they named it as Mvt, and the like PHP framework has named it as MVC, nothing else. So if anyone has any doubt, okay. If anyone has any doubt, then you can just post it in the chat box. I would like to explain it again. I won't mind. Okay, I hope that the MVC, the whole idea of MVC is clear, as no one is asking anything. Then let's move on forward. So now basically like we'll create a, now let's make a let's make a normal Django application here first. Okay, so let's move on. So for the Django application, like let's make a new folder as such. Let's name it as Django underscore workshop. So now if everyone is following, like it's the like best time to follow me. I hope that all of you all have installed Python in your normal normal laptop or PCs, whatever you have as such. Like this will, like now we'll be doing the actual coding perspective of Django, and we will move on. I hope everyone has installed Python in their systems. So please give a yes or no in the chat box. Okay, I can see all yes. It's fine. Got an idea. So now, as you all have installed the Django, like let's now get started. And yeah, so let's open this folder that we created, Django underscore workshop. That's actually like open it in your command prompt or the same path. If anyone doesn't know how to open it, just go in your like working directory and then just click it here and just type cmd and your command prompt will be open. So this will be the easiest and the simplest way to open, like go into your directory and just check it out. And yeah, so here, like basically, as you all know that if you are using Python, then like through pip we can install multiple packages. So we will just first install like pip install virtual env. I will let you know what is virtual env first. Let's just type out the command. So pip install virtual env. I'll just copy paste the whole command in our chat box as well. It will be easier for you all to, yeah. As you can see, all the actual requirements has been satisfied. I have already installed it. And if you haven't installed, then okay, I just posted only to him. I'll just like keep it send to all of you. I don't want to do direct message. Okay. Everyone in the meet. Yeah, this is the command that which will help you to install virtual env in your systems. So yeah, that's the thing. So now what is virtual env? If we are installing a package, then we should all obviously know like what is it. So virtual env helps you to create a virtual environment in your system. So I will just go on and run my paint again. So now if you have already installed Python in your system, let's name it as py. So what it does is it creates a virtual environment in your system. Just imagine that this is your folder, and here you are creating a virtual environment of like ENV, like virtual ENV, like a virtual environment in your system. So what it does is, if there are multiple times, if you like, there are multiple times when you are actually making what do you say, projects, then there are times when all the packages are updated each and every time, because there is another developer also there. It's an open source library, so there's another developer who will create and who will do a lot of things in the packages. If they want, if they think like at this moment, like we should include the we should update our settings.py files that are available in Django framework initially, and then like there are and he will just like make a Django 4 5.0. Like current version is 4.0, the XXX, like 4.0, whatever version it is. So now he upgrades it to Django 5 version. So there are moments that the previous dependencies that are available in your system won't be like able to compatible with it. So it's a better and a good practice to make a virtual environment in your system first, and then like to install all the virtual environment in it, like all the respective whatever you want, whatever packages you want to install it, you can go into it. You can like install in that virtual env. So here, like I was explaining like through the diagram as well, like here you have Python and this is a folder. So it will just create a virtual environment for this folder. Like all the packages that you have installed in that virtual environment will be stabilized for this folder. So if you are like, if you want to basically, if you want to like give those give your project from one person to another person, so you can just do one thing, like don't think about it a lot. You can just do you can just give the whole project and you can just make a requirements.txt file, and from there you will be able to install it properly. So I'll just let you know like how, like once we are done with the project, I will let you know how can we make a requirements.txt file and how can we pass on from one person to another person. I'll let you know that also as well. So here, firstly, we have installed virtual env. I hope that virtual env concept is clear in your mind. If not, then you can just type it in the chat box. I would like to explain it again. I won't mind though. If, yeah, clear. Okay, fine. So let's make a virtual environment in our system. Virtual env. Okay, just a second. Now, to like, okay, to make a virtual environment, you just have to write virtual env and your environment. It can be anything. Currently, I'm just writing test. So test will be my virtual environment. So as you can see, like a test folder has been created in my system where it will be having scripts, where all our libraries, scripts, libraries, lib in our library side packages, all the libraries will be getting stored into it, like for this only virtual environment. So this, I'll just type the command as well in the chat. So you can just move on with me side by side. So this is virtual env. Yeah, now firstly you have created a virtual environment. Now how to activate it? To activate the virtual environment, you just have to write your virtual environment name and then backslash scripts and then activate, nothing else. This will activate your virtual environment. As you can see, it was currently in Django, like d:/Django workshop. Now it's in a like virtual environment of test and then d:/ Django workshop. I'll just give you this command as well in the chat box. So you can move on with me side by side. So now basically we have set it our whole virtual environment where we will be able to like store the data and packages that we need for this project, and we can move on forward. So now let's move on, like to install. Okay, to install our Django, let's move on and install our Django. Let's install Django. So just wait for seconds. It will start installing. Okay, I'll just give you the command in the chat as well. Uh, yeah. So this is like, as you can see here, that the whole like all the versions that are available in my project, that like in my environment has been installed in it. Like now you want to check that is my Django project being installed or not. So just type Python -m Django version. So as you can see, I have Django 4.0.2. I'll just type the command in the chat box as well. Let's wait for 2 or 3 minutes, like everyone be in a sync as such. So this should be actually like seen or like be visible in your screen. Let's wait for 2 minutes. Like, hope everyone have been like, if anyone is facing anything, then they can just put it in the chat box. I'll be like address you. Yes. So someone has asked me a question like, sir, so now this Django we have installed is strictly a part of virtual environment and we won't be able to access another directory. Right. It's sure. Surely you won't be able to access in another directory for sure if and until and unless if you have installed Django in your actual working directory. Like I'll just show it to you if you want to see. So in this project, like I hope that I have installed in my normal. So let's check. I'll just give you an example as well. Just a second. So see, like in my PC, like in my Python directory, I haven't installed Django in my actual working directory of Python. So it's showing me that Python exe no module found named as Django. But in my virtual environment, I have created a Django, like I have installed, like pip install Django. So that's why it's getting recognized in my virtual environment, but it's not getting recognized in my actual other folders. So if you want to check like an other folder as such, like if I have a Kura, this thing as well. So I can just open a command prompt and I can just type Python -m Django -hyphen version, and it won't be able to recognize my Django version here. I hope this gave you an actual example what I meant to say. Okay, cool. I hope everyone is like done with the installation of Django. I would like to ask another time, like if someone has not understood the Mvt architecture, then they can ask me again. I won't mind explaining it, because Mvt is the basic like backbone of the project. Pip install pip is not recognized and internal and external command. That means that you haven't installed Python in your system, Prerna, because pip is the basic command that should recognize it. Just check like Python. Have you installed Python in your system? I have installed. Okay, that's like really weird. Pip install, it shouldn't happen. So this is unable to create process file using version command. So it is saying unable to create process while using the word. Okay, what are you trying to say, Aryan? I'm not able to get you. You can just turn on your mic as well. It's fine. Okay, Prerna, to address you, scripts. Okay, for the scripts, you have to type S as capital. So test/scripts S should be capital. Then you will be able to access the actual like command. I am facing the simple problem. Pip is not recognized as an internal external command in the batch file. Here path variable is not configured. Pip, I think. But oh yeah, might be possible that path variable is not configured. While installing Python, you haven't given the path to your actual virtual environment. So that's why it's not able to recognize pip. Yes. Just try to install if you just install your Python again, or just give a path variable to your environment variable. I'll just show it to you. I hope here will be an environment variable. And if you type to edit it like Python and Python script path should be mentioned in your system, then only you will be able to access your pip installation path. If you want to see more, like here, whenever I install my actual all the libraries and the frameworks and Python, so I keep it in my D drive. So I it becomes easily to locate my systems, like where all the files are available. That's why I keep it on my D drive. So here, as you can see, in my D drive, I have kept my Python files. So that's why I have mentioned in the in my environment variable Python, and then my scripts file where all the actual libraries have been imported and exported in my system. That's the script file. You have to create a virtual edit your virtual environment. So that's the issue. So for that, you can just I'll just give you 2 to 3 minutes again to do it. So as such, so we will wait for 2 minutes as well. Till then, anyone has any other doubt, then we can just go through that as well. I hope the virtual environment command is being you understood that you have to keep scripts S capital, then only it will work to activate it. Okay, I just messaged it directly. So sorry. Yeah, try this out. It will start your virtual environment. Okay, I did a mistake. Yeah, scripts S should be capital. Yeah. Yes, done. Okay, Brenna, then you'll be able to access the pip packages as well. So I hope now everyone has been installed Django and everyone is now able to move on forward. We can move on to the next part, or let's wait for 1 minute as well. If anyone is lagging behind or something, because that's the thing. If you miss one step also, then you won't be able to understand the forward things. Till then, if anyone has any doubt on Mvt structure, then they can ask me. Okay, someone has asked me to explain Mvt again. I'll give you a basic terms. Again, okay, fine. So see, firstly we have M, then we have V, which comes for views, and then we have templates. So Mvt will carry your all the database that you're gonna store. Okay, sorry for my handwriting. Yeah, so here M will be basic requirements of all the it will store all the database here. Just a second. Yeah, it will be a database directory where all the data will be getting stored, and then from database, if a user types an input in the form, then it will go into the views page, and from the views page all the inputs will be taken in the views page, and all the logic will be written in the view page, where we'll be mentioning if a person clicks a button at that moment, if you want to traverse the data, if you want to take the data from views to pass it on M, like M, then we can just go into the like it can just store into the database. If my name is Amit, then I can just type it in the field that saying my name is Amit. So it will take the data here from Amit from template to views, and from views it will carry to the M, like in our actual model. The main part is V is the basic major interface in between, like all the things will be get stored into the database. And from there, if you want to like show that data, like my name is Amit, like if you want to show it in the another upcoming page, then you can just take the data from database and then pass it into the view part, and then like from the view logic you can return the data and then show it into the like templates file. So I hope it got understood. Now I hope so. Till then, like everyone would have been on the same page. Everyone have installed Django. I hope this is done. So once we are done with the installation of Django and the basic understood of the MVT actual model, till then, like we can move on ahead. Like let's create our first Django application. So we can just type Django -admin start project my site. Let's name our project as my site because it's just start a project. I'll just give you this command in the chat as well. So here you go with the command. You can just press enter and wait for 2 to 3 seconds, and you will be like whole website will be installed. So whatever your working directory is, you can go there. Like here we created a Django _workshop, right? So here you can see a little bit of files has been generated. Like my site has been like available to you now. From there, like manage.py, this is the main part of the actual file from where you will be like, if you want to run the application as well, you have to go to the, like you have to type python manage.py run server, then only you will be able to access your actual all the files available in your system. Then so manage.py plays a very major and important role in the whole application. So and then we have my site. There my site will be like all certain Python files has been initiated. Because URLs is the important, which actually tells us the person, like from you have to go from one path to the another path. And then we have settings.py. From settings.py is the basic like is the page where you will, if you want to like integrate different types of databases such as MySQL, Oracle DB. So you can just change certain like input certain fields in the settings.py, then only you will be able to like attach your actual database into your system like MySQL or Oracle. So in this project, we will be keeping it on a low scale, like it's just a starter workshop. Then only like so we'll be keeping it on a low scale, and we will just use an inbuilt SQL libraries that are available. That is SQLite 3. So we'll be using SQLite 3 for the whole project. We won't go for a much high extended project as such. So we'll be using basic SQLite 3 like database in it as well. So okay, I got an error. So it's showing Django is not recognized as an internal or external command. So batch file. So this error might be possible that your Django is not installed properly. So did you do pip install Django? Yeah. So okay, so it's showing pip install Django. So at that moment, did it show like collecting packages or installation things, or at that moment it showed you an error? Okay, are you in your virtual actual? No, it showed all that. No, it showed all that. Okay, so at that moment, have you installed virtual environment and have you created your virtual environment? Like, are you in your virtual environment currently? Then do again pip install Django if you are in your virtual environment. I'm waiting for you. Like, just do it and just ping in the chat. Till then. Okay, I did it. Like, now it's showing unable to create Python 10 point. Okay. Uh, for this, like test scripts activate, S should be capital. Like test slash scripts, like scripts, S should be capital. Then only it will be able to activate your virtual environment. This will be the actual command, like test slash scripts S capital, then activate. And yeah, coming to Aryan back. Yes, I have also tried S as capital. Okay, Saket, then can you just turn off your, like, can you just present it? Then we can just look into it actually. Just present your screen if you can.
It is usable for screen sharing for participants.
Okay. So what you can do is, wait, I will just show it to you. Most of the time, like, if you have created, okay, just keep your mic on till then, it's fine. So like, if you have just, can you just go into your working directory and you can just see that a test folder has been created or not?
Yeah, sure, sir. Yes, sir, it's created.
Okay, then just open your command prompt, like in the same directory, like as I have done. Is it done?
Yes, sir, done.
Yeah, then just type test, then type test scripts slash activate. Scripts S, like S should be capital, and scripts, like it's multiple S.
Scripts activate.
Just look in the for like slashes as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Done, sir. Thank you,
Done.
sir.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
Welcome. So yeah, this got solved. And another part, like coming to you again, Aryan, like you are saying that install Django. So type pip install Django. And if you can just unmute yourself, then I'll be able to address you easily, much easier. Or else you have to just type. I guess you are doing something wrong. Like I'll just give you all the commands again. I'll just direct message you. So I will start from the start. Yeah, please. Like you have to do, firstly, you have to do pip install virtually in me. Once you are done with this in your working directory, then start that like create your virtual directory after this and name it anything. Currently, I have named it as test. You can name it anything. It's not like you have to just write test only. You can be like virtual env or name. That's fine. And once this is done, like virtual env after like virtual env test, then you can just type it out test slash scripts slash activate. This will like open your virtual directory in your system. Once this is done, then you can just go on and like type pip install Django. I will just post these commands again in the chat box for each and everyone in the meet. Yeah, this is the basic like method to get started, like to install the Django like files, and to check like is your what is your actually Python version. So you can just type Python. I'll just post it in the chat as well. -m Django hyphen version. It will give you the Django version. That means that you have installed Django in your system. And then like after this, you have to like build a project. So here, like for to like start getting started with the project, at that moment you have to type Django hyphen admin. That means you are making a project, and start project actually like it's justified saying that yeah, you should start my project. And then my site I have created, and the name as my site, you can keep any name is fine. It's like independent to your wish, whatever you want to keep the name, it's fine, you can keep the name. If anyone has any doubt with these couples of line, then they can ask me. It's fine. I'll be just waiting. Let's wait for 2 minutes again. Like let's everyone be on the same page firstly. Yeah, Aryan, it's fine. Like if you want to, like what is the yeah, you can present. It's fine, fine. I hope, but I request host to like give him the access to present if it's possible. I'll just clarify his doubt till then. Or else, Aryan, you can just unmute yourself. I'm can you I don't have mic connected right now. Okay. So okay. So till then, like what else we can do is I'll just like to again the whole process, just follow me step by step. You can just look into it. So I'll just create a new file. Just like do step by step, iron with me. So let's create a Django test script activate created in the folder. The test file activate file is file created in the folder Django under test script activate. Okay, what are you trying to say? Like I didn't get you. Is it correct? Test scripts activate file created in the folder Django workshop. Yeah, it gets created. It gets created. A test file is getting created. As you can see, I'll just rename it. I'll just like come first to the Aryan because he's like lagging a little bit. So and just follow me alongside. And at that moment, like it will be okay. We have already know. Okay, we'll just rename it something else. Sorry. Tango underscore workshop underscore ex. Let's name it as example again. So yeah. So I can just go into your working directory. If anyone is lagging as such, they can just follow me side by side. So just go into your working directory. So as you can see, like the whole directory is empty. So I can just do command cmd. CMD means you're opening a command prompt at that location. So once this is done, like then do pip install virtual env. It will install a virtual environment package into your system. So as my all the things are already satisfied, that's why it shows me that it's already satisfied. Like all the things. Instead of like already satisfied, it will show in your case, or if someone has installed Python first time, in that case, like it will show a bar that is getting downloaded. So this is done. Like virtual environment had been installed in your system. So after doing this, like after the command of virtual env hyphen virtual env space test, so then only you will be able to see a folder of test. Now, if you want another type of virtual env, so what you can do is like virtual env space whatever my name, if your name is like whatever your name is, you can just create. Now you can see in the backend a new folder has been created by the name of Amit. So this is a virtual environment. So currently I've created two virtual environment in a single system. So if I want to access test at I can access the test virtual environment by typing test slash scripts slash activate. So this will activate your virtual environment. If you want to access another virtual environment name as Amit, So what you can do is type another command prompt and just type Amit / scripts / activate. So I am in the virtual environment of Amit. So this is how you can create multiple virtual environment. It's fine, but whenever you are using that virtual environment, just keep in the mind you have to be in that virtual environment only. So once you are done with this, we'll move on to the test only, because like you will be like confused kind of thing if I will be using Amit in a certain place. Yeah. So we are in the test virtual environment. So after this, like we can do one thing, like we can just install pip install Django. Pip install Django. So this will install Django in your system. It will take few seconds or so, and it will get installed in your Django. Like it will install Django in your system. I hope Aryan, like you are going with me and you are able to understand. If you're facing any difficulty till here also, you can just type it in the chat. I will just address you. Aryan, are you done with this command? Just type yes in the chat. Yeah. So if you're done with this, like now Django has been installed in your system. So what you can do is you can just type like Python -m. The command that I have given to you is Python -m Django version. It will show you the actual Django version that has been installed in your system. Is it showing to you now, Aryan? Yeah. So now you have installed your like actual virtual environment in a system, and then like you can move on to make your actual project. To make your actual Django first basic project is you can just type this in the command. I will just type everyone in the meet, like type this. From this command line, you can like you will be able to make your actual first project. So here, like as you can see, like it's Django -admin start like start project my site. My site stands for our project name. If you want to create any other project as well, it's fine. Like you can just type Django -admin and then the name of the project. Like whatever you want. If you want like Django _workshop, then also it's fine. So you can see another file is also being created, Django _workshop. It has been created, my site, the first site that we have been created. So in this files, like you can see, like there is manage.py, and through manage.py is the main core of the like actual main core where actually all the database is being visible. Like sorry, not the database, to start our actual project, main.manage.py will be used, and all the different files like settings, URL, settings.py and URLs. These two are also an important files for Django. You will be able to visible that these two files are all also installed in your system. Now, I hope that everything has been understood by you all, like how to get started and how to get created your project. So for this, like Aryan, are you done with the installation? Like, can you see the project my site in your system? Till then, I will just, yeah, till then I will just delete this repository as it's not of no use for me. Okay, then it's getting started deleting all the things. Till then, we will move on to our Django workshop folder that we have created. So here you can see that my virtual, okay, fine. It's getting deleted. Yeah, till then we can just move on to our Django workshop, and we have our virtual environment named as my site, and virtual environment named as test, and a project named as my site. So these are the two like fields, two folders that has been installed. So now the next thing is the next step that you have to do is to go into your my site actual working directory. just type cd my site, and then like if you want cd means change directory, I will just put it in the chat box, cd my site. Okay, it should be for everyone, so sorry. cd my site. Once you are done with this, then you can just start up your project. Yeah, like the Django basic project that you have downloaded it, you can just start up by typing Python. Okay, it's not being typed here. Yeah, Python manage.py run server. So it will start your server. So I'll just give this command also in your command like chat, messaging chat. So yeah, so this will start your server. As you can see, my server is like started on this. So just copy it down. I'll just paste it in the chat as well, and just type the same thing in your like in your Chrome browser as such. Like as you can see, like the basic template of Django, like they have already set up for you. Whenever you install a Django project at that moment, they have given to you. And if you want to go for the documentation, you can go to the documentation page. And I must say, like the documentation is the basic core of the like all the frameworks, whatever you study, you should go and study from documentation itself, because they have covered each and everything in the detail. I know in starting you will be feeling like okay, I'm not understanding the things, but when you get a hold of it, you will be actually recognize its potential. Like what is the documentation, like how should I go from scratch? If you want to go from scratch, then you can just go on installation. Like it will give you each and everything in the detailed version. How can you go through it? Like how can you get a basic glance of it? So this was the like basic installation, and as you can see, like this is the basic page, that it's a default page currently. Now in the upcoming slide, we'll be for sure like doing multiple things as such, like updating it and doing a lot more things. So this is, I hope that everyone has been started their project, are able to start their project, and are able to run the same page that we are. So if anyone has any doubt with respect to this, they can just ping in the chat. It's fine. Like I will be address them. So this is the like starting URL. From this, like we are able to access our website. I'm not getting any error in the chat box. That means, yeah, everyone has been started with the project. Yes, it's working. Okay, fine. That's nice that each and everywhere, like most of the people are being interactive. Most of the workshops, it's like lazy. It's nice. It's actually nice. So yeah, so we have started with our project, and then let's open in our virtual VS Code. If you have VS Code, then you can open in your VS Code. If you have any other Notepad++, you can open there as well. So can you explain again from CMD my site part? Yeah, sure. So CD my site part. So basically what we did is, I'll just close it again. So I will just go CD. The CD stands for change directory. So currently, firstly, you were in your Django working directory that we created, like Django_workshop, where you can see that whenever we typed a command that was saying Django admin. Okay, I will just show it to you, where we created our actual project, like Django-admin start project my site. So we created a project named as my site. Once this is done, you will be able to see this folder in your working directory. Now we have to go in this directory, and then we will be able to start our project. So to go in that directory, you have to type cd my site. Simple. So in this way, like you will be able to go in the working directory, you change your directory, and you move on to the my site directory. And from there, if you want to start your application, you have to type Python manage.py run server. So this will help you to start and initialize the server. So if you want, I will just put it in the chat box again, like if you want to initialize your server. So once you are done with this, then you will get a link like http colon //127.0.0.1 colon 8,000. That means your server is been running on this this website URL. So you have to just copy that part. I will be just pasting it in the chat. It will be same for you as well because it's a local machine. Just type that whole thing in your Chrome browser, or if you are using Firefox, just type there and just press enter. So this site will be available for you. Like this site will be visible for you. So if you're starting a server, it's all because of manage.py. Like the manage.py will be initializing your whole project. I hope you understood, Aryan, whatever I'm trying to say. Yeah. So currently what we can do is open your whole folder. Like I will be just opening a new window. Yeah, open a whole folder, and then you can just browse to your, oh, okay, oops, sorry. Let's close this window only. We just need to open a folder now. Now, once you're done with this, like you can go to your actual VS Code. Just type my open folder. If you haven't installed VS Code, I will recommend you to download it because it has multiple things and it makes a developer life easier as well. So I will just go in workshop_ws. Okay, just a second. I hope I have like, okay, it's Django. Sorry. Django_workshop. Just go it here and just select the folder. Yes, I trust the author. So here you can see that we have multiple files as my site and test. You can just ignore the test part. If you want to just open my site, it's also fine. Like if you want to open a folder, just click on files, open a folder, and then Django, like in Django workshop, my site, and just select it. Okay, we can just maximize it. And you can see here manage.py. So this is the manage.py which actually runs the server. And we have a lot of things like settings.py, a lots. Like you can just do a lot of things here though, but we will be looking into it in our upcoming thing. So once we are done with this, like what we can do is now just close the terminal if you want to. Once you are done with the terminal, now see what happens is now we have installed our own project. Like we have installed the Django basic template framework in our actual system. Now, if you want to create a module, now whenever we go to a website, at there you can see there is a sections like if you're talking about Flipkart, then there is a section called as clothes for men's and women's. So for if there is a notification named as men's and women's, that means the whole project is divided into two parts. Those parts are known as app in the Django. Like if you're creating an app, you can to keep it more structured way. That's why we will be creating an app. Like it's just a directory using Django admin command. It's just create a directory and give us the basic information like how to create, like how to be started with it, nothing else. So for this, like he'll be creating an application. So app. So come to your command back again. Just type Python with the help of manage.py. Start app. START. Start app, and then your app name. Currently, I will be keeping it as my app. If you want to create something else, you can keep that as well. I will just do copy paste like in the chat section as well. Unknown command manage.py. Okay, yeah, are we not in the same directory? Manage.py. That's weird. Start. Okay, start spelling is wrong. My fault. Startup management. Okay, now as you can see, my app has been created for me. A new application. I was just posting the command in the chat box as well. Yeah. So this will help you to create your own app, app application in it. So in the application, as you can see, there are admins.py, apps.py, models.py, a lot more Python files, nothing else. So this is done, like we are done with the actual setup of a project, like how to make an app, like how to create a Django application, how to go ahead, like how to create an app in our application. And then you can see here there are urls.py, as I was saying and ahead. We have a default like default path as admin. I will be letting you know what is it for sure. I hope till here, like each and everyone, you have understood each and everything. Yes, sir. Okay. If anyone has anything like they would like to ask, they can ask. It's fine. I hope okay. That means everyone has understood anything. So till then, like till here, we can just take a pause of some 5 to 10 minutes. Like we'll be back at 12:35 or so. Then we can move on ahead. Let's take a break of 5 to 10 minutes. Till the break is there, if anyone is lagging behind, they can just catch up in between, and if anyone has any doubt, they can just ask me. Yeah. So coming to the comment of Aryan, first, sir, I have just downloaded VS Studio. Now, what to do? Can you explain? Yes, Aryan, just open your file. Like I will just explain you again. Open your Visual Studio Code first. Once you are done with the opening of Visual Studio Code, then you can see at the top ribbon there is a file. Just click on it, open a folder, click on my site, like wherever your virtual directory is. It will be prompting like go to your Django workshop and just click on my site. Then it will be open your actual file, and from there, like set up a new line, like start a new line, type Python manage.py start like start up my app. here. This will be help to initialize your actual application, and you'll be able to set up like a new folder will be created of my application, my app. Till here we have been like we have done. And Prathamesh, coming to you, I cannot seem to be able to enter anything after. Yeah, yes, for sure. Because see, once you have started your actual application and it's running in the background, like from run server, like your whole application is running. So at that moment, you can't do anything or any as such, like you can't install or you can create an application. At that moment, you have to do is just Control C. It will create an interrupt between you, and then you will be able to like you will be able to get a command from back, and from there you can just type python manage.py start app my app, and you will be able to set up your application there. And if you want to like start your application again, just type python manage.py run server. I hope you understood it. And coming back to Prerna, like python. Okay, you are in your test directory. That means you are able to. Django is not recognized. How come? Test // my Python. Yeah, Prerna, just do one thing. Like instead, like starting with the. Okay, it's getting recognized, but Python manage dot. Okay, fine, it's getting recognized. Django, Django admin startup. Django is not recognized. How come it's possible? Like it's weird. Okay, let me check. What is your doubt? Your doubt is Python. This is done. It's showing you. Then okay. Fine. Django start project. Django. Prerna, just try to type doing pip install Django again, and then try Django -admin start project my site. I hope it should work. It's just try it out like pip install first Django again. And you are doing like you're creating a whole project in your Python folder. Instead of creating it in a Python folder, create a new directory somewhere. Like it will mess all the Python files. That's not an actual good practice that you should do, because Python folder is something where you should like keep all the Python packages. You shouldn't install or do any virtual directory, like do anything in that folder. Yes. Like go to your D directory, and then once like just do command prompt and see that Python is installed in your whole system or not. Just do Python. You will be going to the Python shell as its an interpreter. And if you want to exit, just type exit and the full basis. We'll be starting at 12:40 sharp. So till then, Prerna, if you can catch up, then just catch it up. Python manage startup. Provide application name. Admesh, can you just like unmute yourself? It's an error. Okay, you're facing an error. For that, I guess you are not in your path where manage.py is available. So just go cd my site path and then try that command that I gave it to you. Because the command shell should find manage.py application. That's why. I hope you understood what am I trying to say. I'm in the same path. Okay. Can you just unmute yourself? Is it possible for you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So see, you are in your my site, right? Currently.
Yep. Yes.
Okay. In the my site, can you just see is there visible like manage.py? Is it available?
Yes. Yes. It is.
Okay, it is. So you are trying to do start app, right? Python manage.py start app my app, right?
Map. Yep.
Okay. Before that, can you just type Python manage.py migration? I'll just put it in the chat box like it was an upcoming thing. Okay. Is your server running properly?
Yes, sir.
It was like then it's weird. Like it should start Python manage.py start up my app. Just check the spellings properly, like Python. Did you write Python in front of it? Because there are multiple times that you forgot.
Yes, sir.
Must
Now
provide.
it
Acha,
shows.
okay,
Did
okay.
you mean show migration or something?
Yeah, just a second. Like I guess you haven't named it as my app because it's saying that application name should be provided. You haven't given any application name. That's why. Like Python manage.py space start app space my app.
Okay.
Yeah, try that out.
Yep. Yep. It's working. Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine, fine, fine. Happens. Prerna, can you just unmute yourself? Like, I'm not able to get you where you stuck actually because you just sent me a long message.
Yes, I installed Django, but now what to do?
Okay, firstly, when you have installed your Django, then just type. Okay, I will just look into the. Okay, fine. I will actually do one thing. You have installed Django, right? After that, just do Django hyphen admin, or else I will just like press first check it that is it installed or not using that version command. Like I'm showing in my screen, Python hyphen m Django hyphen version. Uh, is it showing like 4.2.0?
Yes,
Okay, so it will detect as it as a Django has been installed, right? So once this is done, then just type this command that is visible in your screen again, like Django hyphen admin space start project space my site.
it's showing Django cannot be recognized.
Okay, are you like have okay? Are you trying on the same command prompt, right? Like, are you in the same virtual directory?
Yes,
Like it's showing a test, right?
yes,
Okay, so like it's weird, I guess, because Django has been installed, but you're not able to do Django admin. You have installed pip, like you have done pip install Django, right? In the same directory, in the same virtual environment.
yes.
Okay, so is it like can you just share your screen? I'll request host to like give her the access. Is it possible or something?
Yes, now it is getting recognized.
Okay, now it is getting right. So just type like you have created your start project like Django admin start project space my site. So have you
Yes,
created it? Yeah, then just type cd space my site.
okay.
Then after that, okay, you do the thing step the step.
Yes, done.
Done. Then just type this Python manage.py run server. I'll just show it in the screen as well. Just type out this.
Yes,
So is the screen like did you got a server URL? HTTP slash something something.
yes.
Yeah. So just click Control and C, like press the both button together, like Control and C, cut it.
Okay, done.
Yeah, done, right? Then type this thing. I will just show it to you again. Command line. Start project. Maybe we need a start app. We have already a project. So yeah, just type this command that is visible in the screen like Python manage.py startup space my app.
Yes,
Yeah, done. Okay, guys, I guess each and everyone are on our same page. We have already installed and we are done with the, like we have opened our own directory here. So firstly, what we will do, like we'll move on ahead. So let's move on. So as I told you, like this is my apps. This is my apps. This is my app. My site will be my main own application, and then my app which will having all the logic will be in use.py. So currently, like without using the templates only, we will be like able to access it by simple inbuilt functions in Django. Without using templates, also we can do certain things. I'll be just showing it to you in the screen. Just follow me one by one and you will get like you will be able to access it. Now there is an HTTP response, like we can get HTTP response from the direct inbuilt function for Django. Just try to import it from Django. Django dot HTTP, then import HTTP response. Just type it out with me. Once you're done with this, like this will help you to like import all the like basic HTTP response in your command. And then we'll create a simple basic function, name it as index, and we'll pass a parameter of request colon. That's it. Now you have created a function. Let's return something in the function. Return the HTTP response. As we haven't created a template, so just keep it as a response, and let's type hello world. Hello, world. Yeah, so here we have created a normal response of hello world. Before, like once you're done with writing your logic in views.py, then you need to mention your path. Like at which part do you need to like actually like do the actual URL requests and all. So in your my app, like which you have created my app folder, just right click on it and new file. Just click on new file and type URLs, means all the URLs are mentioned in this file, like all the paths are given in this file. Just press enter. Once you are done with this, like a new file will be opened in your VS Code that will be named as urls.py. Now from there, just type from Django.urls, like import all the libraries that we need from Django. From Django URLs, import path, mention all the path. This is the standard procedure of actually importing all the things. So now we have to like link. I will just like give you a basic idea. Now we are actually linking our views.py link to our URLs. That's why we are typing from dot like all the functions that are available, import from views. So now we are actually connecting our like views with our urls.py file. So our URL has been connected. Then just type URL patterns URL patterns equals to path, and pass a simple basic path, like just keep in and out output string. Views.index, like index, this index what we are trying is to access our index function that we have created in our views.py. So as we have given it here, then you have to just type name equal to name as just okay. Just type is the name in the single string, index and comma. Like this is the path that we have been created in our actual application. Now this whole urls.py should be integrated to our main project, right? The main project is here. The main URLs are mentioned here. Now we will just like connect the whole URL with our actual main.urls.py. We are doing this because for a large scale application, you will be able to. Okay, I got a chat reply something. Can you repeat previous step? New URLs fine. Okay, fine, for sure. So here, can you see like in the urls.py? So firstly, what we did is we did views.py. In the views.py, we actually made the logic, like how can we write hello world. So for that, we just created HTTP response. Now, first we are we have just write hello world here. Now we will connect this index function with our urls.py. So in my app, like whatever app you have created, like this is an application, like a folder that actually tells you like where all the files are being mentioned. So create a new file named urls.py, name it urls.py, and keep it specifically urls.py only. Like don't keep it something else. So keep it urls.py. Then just type URLs like from Django.url, import path, and from import views. Like dot means import all the functions that are available in views. Just import all the functions into it. And then just type URLs pattern, URL patterns equals to like open box brackets and just type path and give it a views.index path, nothing else, and name it as index. Once you are done with this, like now we have created a URLs in our own application. Now we have to just create now we have to connect this urls.py to our actual actual project that was my site. So we have to connect this whole. I hope this URL is cleared with you, like whatever I said currently. Okay. So once you are done with this, like connect this URL with my site. So now we will be connecting our like my app URL to my site URLs. Now we'll be actually connecting with this. So for that, you have to just type comma include, like include in this line to include the files, and then just type path. Now we'll be connecting our my app URL here, like my app, whatever my app name was, my app, keep it in an inverted colon. So my app dot URLs, just name it this, and just a second, like in the path for, oh, okay, I'll just type it out again. Yeah, firstly, like we will be saying that this is my app, like we will be giving the destination of the app, then comma include, and in that mention that it is coming from my app dot URLs. I hope we have mentioned everything correctly, and then just put a colon. So in this way, like we are able to connect our actual application into our actual with the main project. Now what you have to do is, now we have created an app, but this Django project doesn't know that this app actually exists in it. So for that, we have to mention it in the settings.py file. Once you are done with the URLs, once you are connected with the URLs.py, then you have to connect this my app with your actual settings.py to let him know that yeah, we have also created an application. So for this, go into settings.py, go under installed apps, and just type my app, application name dot apps, what is our app, and then my app config, and then put a comma. So we have to write all this along with you, or you will be giving us time to you can do whatever you want, like if you want to, as I'm going slow, you can also type it along with me. If you want, like till then I can just wait till then as well, it's fine. Like you can, I will just wait for you to write it out. I will just present it till then. Like I didn't just try to type it along with me, so it will be much more faster, as we have a little bit time crunch and a lot of things to do. That's why. I hope that, so my apps or my app, on which file are you asking me? If you're asking about urls.py, then it should be my app. Whatever you're actually like my apps, instead of my apps, just type my app, because I'll just go to my settings.my page, because okay, I did a mistake. It should be my app. Yeah. One app, only apps, apps. That's it. Because whatever your app is, that's why, and your app name, and then it's an app, you're telling it, yeah, it's an app, and then config all the things. So once you're done with this, like you can just type it out, run server, it will start your server again, and just go it there in this line. Now at this moment, like if you just type it here, it will give you an error for sure. page not found, because right now we have created an app. So we can just type /app. Now you can see your hello world here. For that, I can just do one more thing, like if you want like all the commands with you all, instead of me typing it in the chat box, I've created my own document as well. I will just give it to you. I'll just give you a link. I'll try to open it here as well. Just give me a few minutes. Let me look into it. Django basics, yeah. Yeah, so just go in this link, you will find each and every command, whatever I'm trying to say, you'll get it. So it will be easier for you all as well to like keep the pace with me. So yeah, firstly, we have done the whole my app, like we have installed in the settings. So once you're done with this, then run the server and just type like app/app, where you can see hello world here. So once you're done with this, then yeah, let's move on forward and let's create our model. The model that I was saying initially, that was the basic creating a general general basic skeleton to our actual project. So for this, firstly, we will import we'll make a class, name it as, go into the model file that is available in your app, then type class, then type just book and type models.model. This will create a model and just let's name the field. Let's take a title from the user. Title equals to models dot, it should be a character field. That's why we are type like anything is fine. Like integer and string both are fine. That's why we are just typing models dot character field max underscore length. Let's give it a length as 200 character. Once this is done, then we can just take publish date as well, date and time. So we can just type pub date models.date. Let's take a date time field. Date time field, and let's type a date publish. Yeah, date of published. So this way, like we have created our own like database query, like in such way that yeah, it's a title, and if let's name it as only publish date. Yeah, publish date. We are taking from publish date field, like we'll be taking both the time and date as well. So that's it, like title and the publish date. So as we have mentioned it in our models, like we have created a model. Now we have to register our model into admin.py page. To registering it your model, you have to just type from dot models that we have made the model files, import class name that we have written book. So import that book. As you can see in the models.py, we made a class name as book. That's why we are registering the same book. So once this is done, then just type admin dot site dot register. Register your actual like class book. So this way you have registered your book. Now what we can do is we can just do first make migrations as such. That's to make migrations. Like once we have been created this, okay, we have an error saying line number Django. Okay, this is a inner error, so we can just ignore it. Has no attribute RE. That means it was at that moment when I was changing. At that moment, it just got RE. You can just go to use.py. Just changed a little bit stuff. Sometimes these things happens because it just tried to initiate. It's just tried to call, and like my own background server is running, so it got stuck in between only because as I haven't completed my code. So it's a best practice that you shouldn't keep your server on, and you can just like move on. So currently just close the server and type like let's migrate our whole database, or else we can do one thing like yeah, let's first migrate our whole database as such. It will be better. So let's type Python manage.py again, make migrations. This will be actually making my migration, and after making my migration I have to migrate. So my whole database has been made, like all the basics database that are available will be made. And then like to access it, I can just type like let's create a super user first, because to access the database, like to see it on the front end, you have to make a super user. So let's type Python manage.py create super user. All these things, like all the commands will be available on this URL website. So you will be able to catch it up easily. Okay, so it says that can't open the file manage.py. That's weird. Python. Okay, the spelling of manage is not perfect. That's right. Now it will create a manage. Yeah. So just type a username. Keep it up. I'm just keeping it open. I don't want to keep it email ID as such. So let's keep it as blank. And I entered my password. It's easy. That's why it's saying, can you bypass it? Yeah, we can. So then just run your run server again. So here, I hope everyone is following with me. If anyone has any doubt, then they can just ask me out. I'll just give you certain commands as well in the chat box, chat section. Whatever I have typed in CMD. This migrated it, then create a user. This is a must thing to get into our database, a SQLite database. And then just run server. So in this, like basically, we have just created it. We can just go in here and just type the whole server name and admin. You will be thrown back to the like Django register admin page. Whatever you typed, whatever username you made it, just type that and enter the password. Now you are logged in into the database of your own Django application. So once you are done with this, just add book's name like as we have created. Let's give it a title as Amit. Keep it today's date, time now, and just click on save. So we are like the data has been added into our database. Like using these models, like whatever we created in the model, now we have actually created our own model. Now currently from the Mvt structure, like we have done, like we have covered M structure and V structure. Now we will be moving on with the T structure as well, for sure, like the template structure. Then you will get a basic idea of how Mvt actually works. So firstly, we have added one certain books. Let's add another book as well. Just click on add button, add books button, and just type any name like Amit_2. Okay, let's keep it a this thing. And if you want to keep like some other date as well, it's fine. Like any time is also fine. If you want to create it now, midnight, anything is fine. Just save it. See, you can see that 2 objects has been added. Like these are all the objects that we are creating in our database directly into the database, not from the front end currently. So yeah, so in this way we have added it. So now let's move on forward. Like I hope everyone is understanding everything. If nothing, then you can just ping me in the chat box as well. So yeah, So till then, like once this is done, now how to access in the front end, like how to access our own database, like all the, like whatever we are getting from the database, how can we access it? So for that, we can just go to views.py. We can just make a like kind of one more function to like access the whole things. We can just type def book. Let's type it book underscore by ID. Pass a normal basic request in it. And for this, like we have multiple things, right? For that, like for all the list, like we have added 2 books. So we can access it using its ID. That's why we will write book underscore ID. Whatever ID we have got, we can use it into our function. So go into it and just type book equals to book dot objects that we created are objects dot get. And every ID will have a primary key. If you know a little bit of database, then it will help you a lot in this. Like it will create it, and then like without using a template, we can just render it by saying return HTTP response. We will be using database like templates for sure. Just in a moment after this, like after we cover this. Let's take it into an this thing only. And as we have like made our database in such a way that it will contain book dot title in the model, as you remember it, if you remember it, then comma. Okay, then we can just type publish on instead of like closing it here. Why can't we just close it both together? Yeah, just type publish on. And the date that we need is like book dot EUP underscore date. That's it. So this way we have created our own function. It will return the whole thing. I'll just type it in the chat box. If you want to like copy paste, you can copy paste it, or you can just go to the above link and you can copy paste it from that document as well. So once this is done, let's register into our urls.py. So initially when we like in our my site, the my application that we have created, the project that we have created, we have already registered in my whole like my app.urls into it. So we don't have to do it again and again. So we can just go into URLs and then we can just type path. And let's mention it here, whatever we need. Okay, we got a direct message. So can you explain book by ID function again? We didn't need to import book object first inside views.py. Yeah, we need to. Actually, I just forgot. So sorry. Yeah, we need to include it. Coming first, let's explain like let me explain Hafin's thing. Okay, just a second. Hanif, sorry for the pronunciation. So okay, yeah, we were on urls.py, we done this, fine. So what we did is we imported it here, and then we can just go here, and from models, we can just import the book as well. From there, you'll be able to access this function, right? Like we haven't created a path from where we can access it, but yeah, to access these book.title and to access pub underscore date, we have to just type from dot models import book. That's nice that you remember me for like give me a reminder. Thanks a lot. And coming to you, Aryan, back, like can you explain the book by ID function again? Yeah. So see, book by ID, like this function I have just created to fetch the data from my backend, like from the database, and show it into the front end. Currently, to showing it into the front end, I haven't created any template yet, but we will be doing that for sure in then like few minutes. So as you can see here, like I've created a normal basic function, and book ID is nothing but ID that I will be getting it from the database. And then like the objects that we created in the database, to access it, we will be using it by book ID, and to showing it on the front end, we will be like currently we are using HTTP response, nothing else. So once we are done, now let's connect our views. Each and every time these views function should be connected to our urls.py for sure. So let's create a path and let's name it like book, like whatever we have created it slash int as the variable that the ID we will be getting. It will be an int underscore ID comma views dot book, the book underscore by ID that we created a function. So once this is done, let's give it a name as well. Let's give a name thing same. And let's keep it a comma. Once this is done, that means you have connected your backend with the front end, nothing else. Then what we can do is, okay, we must have triplets included. Okay, we can just start our server again. Like it happens that server got stuck in between only. So yeah, we can just take this command. For that, yeah, we can just go here. Now, if you go on the default page, obviously it will show you an error. We have created a file name as app. So you can just go on app. It will show you hello world because that app is calling this function on our views. Like, okay, I hope it's visible. Like it is calling index function, but we need to call book underscore ID, right? To see all the databases. So what we can do is you can just type book and one ID. Okay, it's showing me that book underscore email. Okay, we haven't as here we haven't like closed our angular bracket. That's why it's showing me an error. So we can just go into URLs and we can just close this. We can just close this. So here it will be closed, and now if we are trying to access it, you can see the first book that I created was Amit and published on all the dates are visible with it. Okay, so can you explain the book by ID function again? Okay, no, it was a previous reply. So we need to, okay, these replies are previously, okay, fine. Yeah, so here you can see that we can get all the data that the data has been stored into the database. We can see here. And then if you want to see the second book, we can just type 2 in the like URL. You can see that Amit underscore 2 that we created the second data into the database with its time and date is visible. So that's how you can access the whole data into your like front end. So firstly, like I have done this. Then let's move on and create our templates. Like we have currently like covered M and V, like the model part where we created our database, and V, the views part that we have created our views. Now let's come towards the T part, that is our template part. So let's create a new folder. Let's name it as templates. Once this is done, then let's create a new file. Let's name it as book underscore detail underscore details.html. So once this is done, write a paragraph tag book. Now this is our own HTML, like basic HTML thing that I'm currently doing. So this is nothing but like writing, just type it out and say it as whenever you call certain things, like whenever you call something from views.py, it should be written in double like curly braces. So you have to just type book dot title. It will give you the title, and you can just copy and just paste it, and then just type published on, like when where the books were published. So as in backend, we have like pub underscore published, sorry, underscore date. So it got like, just type it and render it here. So now like you have created, it won't be happen like you just like write it in the templates. You have to connect your templates to views.py again. Like currently how we have connected our models, that's the same way you have to connect your whole model with your actual views.py. So how can we connect it, right? So to connect it, we can do one thing, like we can go here and then we can just type it out like in the book_id. Like we got this. Instead of return, we can just go with render. Just delete this line and just type render. And we need a request from front end and the file name that you named HTML. You have to type it out, that book underscore details .html. Fine. And then like we have to create a dictionary and pass it on in front end book, and let's name it as book, nothing else. The whole book data will be visible in our front end. So let's go and check out. Like as you can see, as we created 2 paragraph tag, it's like on one another one below the other. If you want, then we can just take the whole template code in the chat box. I can just give it to you. If you want this use code, then also it's fine. I will just give it to you. This is the views.py code. Like everything is connected. Now I will be just letting you know the whole MVC structure again. So as like MVC structure, as I told you, like the front end, if here we haven't created any functions or forms in the front end. So that's why like from this HTML page, we are just calling it from the back end. Like I will just show it to you. Like this is the second line that we are creating. Like the complete data, we are calling it from model. Like model that we created here is the model, and this model is going into the views. Like views.py is the main mediator who transfers the data, and from the model, like as you can see, we rendered the whole HTML page. So we passed it in a directory, like in a dictionary, and then like once this is done, like passed it, then we can just go into our HTML, like and just show it by books.title. Like here you can see, as we passed a dictionary, it's named as book. So that's why only from this book, as you might know that dictionary works a key value per format. So that's why we are passing the key, we are passing the value, and with respect to that key, the book, it will give us the back all the data. So the title in the book, we have a title, like in the models, when you created a model, we created a model and pub_date. So this way, like we have done all the MVC structure of our project. If anyone has any doubt, they can explain. Oh, oops, sorry. Like I should send it to everyone. Yeah. Yes. I hope everything was understood by each and every person. If anyone has any doubt, they can ask me. Okay, if no one has any doubt, then we can move on forward. Like see, currently, like for this application to build the whole to-do list will be take a lot of time, and currently I can see that it's literally like I have more 45 minutes as such. So building up the whole 45 minutes, it will be like kind of tedious. So what I did is I made your life a little bit easier. You don't have to carry me on like with me as well. So let's look into the GitHub perspective. So what I did is I created a Git repository for you all. I will be just showing it to you. Yeah, I just created a Git repository. I'll be just giving you my GitHub link. I've kept my all the code. Now this is another thing, like with Django, you can even go into the GitHub perspective as well. I will be just showing you a basic glimpse about GitHub, and I will letting you know. So just take this link. This is my GitHub link. You can just copy it out, and then like I have created a whole to-do list in our application. I will be explaining you all the things as well. like what to do and when to do and how to do. It will be better that you can do with me, and it will be easier for you as well to understand. So just open your working space directory again. I hope that each and everyone has installed GitHub in your like desktop as well, or else you can do, if not, then you can just download zip file from here, or else I will like you can just do like git clone. Just go in your working directory and do git clone. So it will be cloning my whole all the things. Till then, I'll be just giving you, if you're not able to access Git at all, then I'll be just giving you a zip file that I have created for you. You can just open that zip file. You can just open that zip file, and yeah, you can just like download it and unzip it somewhere in a working directory. Let's wait for, okay, anyone is already visible, copy link, yeah. Let's wait for 2 to 3 minutes and we'll be get going again. Till then, just like unzip or just do git clone in your whole like repository wherever working directory you want it. Till then, everyone is catching up. Like I can just give you one more advice as such. If you are like initially in your first and second year, so what you can do is you can just look into like Google. Like there are a lot of hackathons going on. You can just go and participate there. You can just enhance your knowledge, and there are just a second. Like there are certain I will just let you know. If someone is like more into GitHub, like it, they can just apply for GitHub Ambassador, which is a really helpful experience. And you can also get a students pro pack as well. Like you with the help of pro pack, you get a lot of more and more and more facilities comparatively. As that's only meant for students. Using your student ID, you can get a lot of things. Like you can get a domain name system and a lot more. So you can go and that you can check out, and you can also go for Google GSOC if someone is interested in doing an internship at Google. So they can just go at Google GSOC, just type it in Google GSOC as such, Google Summer of Code. It might be like as the program has been announced, anyone can just come and get participated. They have to just select certain project, and they can just go on and actually like explore a more and a lot of things. And that's a great thing that a lot of actual like tech companies come here and they ask you to build a certain product or something that they can enhance their product as well. Like there's a lot of things that you can do. With respect to Django, also there are certain programs available in 2020 program, like GSOC program, where you can get an internship as well from Google itself. So it's a like collaboration with Google. So there are a lot of things, and if you want to check like GitHub student pack, you can just go to student pack developer, GitHub student pack developer, and just like go and enable apply for it. You'll get it for free of cost, and let's just sign up and just get those pack. Like it's really worth it. And you can like from that pack you can just get Canva pro access for 1 year. And there are a lot of things like you can get a domain name system, you can get a lot of lots and more. I hope till then, like giving this thing, everyone is on a same page. Everyone has installed and downloaded all the files that I expecting. So currently, like I have created this file, we have created this file. Let's go in the file that we have created. So just type cd and the file name, folder name, cd Django to do app. Once you are done with this, then like I have mentioned all the commands that is needed here. So what you can do is like as you have already installed Django in your virtual directory. So you can just go in here and just type cd like to do app, whatever app it is. So here, like I will just showing you in my file explorer as well. drive Django workshop. So in this Django workshop, like Django to do app, where you can get your to do app. So once you are done, once you are getting to the folder, you can see a manage.py. So for each and every Django project, there is a mandatory manage.py file that helps you to run the server. So and do all the migration things. So as you can see here, we have a migration.py line. So like file, so we can do one thing, python manage.py migrate. Just a second, I'll just copy it out. Migrate. And if everyone, like if anyone is facing any type of difficulties, then you can just let me know. Okay, it failed for some reason. I have no clue why. You can do one thing like this shouldn't have happened. You can just go it here and type cmd again python manage.py error, no module name found Django. Okay, fine, because I'm not in my virtual environment. That's why. Let's go into my virtual environment. Now we are in my virtual environment. Now it will be able to detect my Django as well. So once I'm here, I can just type it out again like Python managed. Yeah, make migrations. No migrations applied. Okay, fine, no issues. Like let's see what's the fault. Primary key is not this happens for model. Okay, fine. Like we can do one thing till then. You can just create a super user. Try to create a super user again. Already taken. So we can do one thing, like let's try it. Suppose Ajay as such. Let's give it a name. Yes. I hope my my application is not running. So we can do just Python manage.py on server. So let's run server and let's do and go on admin page first, like our database page, and let's try to access it. So as you can see, a to-do is already like generated for me, like all the database as I have done the migration part. So now we won't add from the backend. Now we like in this project, let's open the project first and I will explain you each and everything in detail. Let's open that project, open folder. My site, not my site this time. We can go here and to do app. So in the previous folder, what I have done easier for you is, as you can see, this is my to-do app where settings.py is present. That means my all the applications are present in settings.py. A database is generated SQLite 3 and my to-do app. The my site app in our previous project, my app was application. That's the same thing here. That is my to-do app. So here, as you can see, the same thing like urls.py. I have mentioned to do the basic update, like create, update, and delete operations. I've created the path for the same, and I've imported the views file, and like I've created a model here as well, like class to do, and the model consists of text and complete Boolean expressions. Like Boolean expressions I have used here just for one single reason, because once you have done like a task of the day, then you can just type it true or false, like to cancel out that information. So for that, I've created the Boolean expression field in the database, and for the text, I've created a varchar field for the same. So here, as you can see, also as well, I've included my to-do URLs as well in my application, and then like in the settings.py, I have like mentioned to do like to do application here. So I've mentioned my app as well in my installed apps. another thing, like here I'm using a static JS, like normal basic CSS as well. So for this, these static files I have to mention in my settings.py, like this is the mandatory thing to do, like static URL static. That says that this says the settings.py, yeah, we are using some static files as well. So that's why we have mentioned it here in the normal basic down as well, like telling them that, yeah, we are using the basic CSS files in our project as well. So once this is done, like I have created a forms as well, like to generate the forms and to pass on the data from one files to another. So that's why I have created a for to do form here. So these forms and all are connected to my main.py. Like as you can see, these forms are connected to my models, and the models is also connected here as well. So currently in the index dot, like I have told you, like to render your HTML pages, you have to do index.json. And there we are just passing the normal dictionary format. You can just pass it out from here as well. It's fine. To keep it generalized and to keep it good, I've just created a variable of context and pass it on to the return function here. So here we'll be doing certain get and post requests. That's why like Django helps us a lot here for the developer perspective to check it, the form is valid. These are the inbuilt functions of the Django, which helps us a lot. And to save it, we have to just type .save with the variable, nothing else. So to get the access from the database, this was just basically to add the data into the database. That's why we have created add to do in the add to do function, and to and to save it in the database. This helps us to save the whole database here. Once this is done, then to access the whole data, just like the books that I created and I showed it to you, like how can you access the whole data? I've created a function named as complete to do, like where we will be able to access the whole data. So in this way, we are able to access it. And if you want to delete it, then we can just delete by deleting the extracted code. This way, we have just created all the functions to delete all. We have just created all dot delete and it will delete it. This way, we have created all the functions that we need here, but nothing else as such, like nothing, some basic difference that is different here. Like all the things are same, all the URLs, just an advanced version like I've created and given you all the functions in your hand, like beforehand, to reduce our task a little bit. So to like implement all the things into our own HTML page, firstly, like I've created a normal HTML tag and then giving a CSRF token that I was saying in the start of the lecture as well. Like this is cross-site scripting. So it helps us for the to keep our data ensure while doing the get and the post request. So that's why we use cross-site scripting in each and every form of Django, and it's mandatory. You can't just ignore it, or without using CSRF token, your form, your whole UI won't work properly. So it's mandatory to import CSRF token. So once this is done, and to get data from the backend, I've just used text.form, and this is the for loop, as it's like a mixture of Python as well in it. So you can use for and if loop easily in this form. I've just created a for loop and I've just closed the for loop by ending for. Normally in Python, you don't have to write end for loop, but when you are using the index dot, when you are using templates file, at that moment, you have to mention this for loop that, yeah, we are ending with this for loop. And we have created certain if condition as well, for the Boolean expression, we have created here certain if conditions, and to import, we have imported our URL as well. So this is the basic things that you have to keep in your mind when you are making a templates, and when you are using that static.css, at that time you have to load it up above, saying that load static. That means that you have loaded the static pages, like the normal basic CSS pages. If anyone has any doubt in this, please ask me. I will repeat it again and again. I won't mind for sure. So I'm looking into the chat box. Anyone can ping me up anytime. It's fine. I can just close this to do app. Okay. Again, run the server. Just go on into this application as urls.py. I haven't mentioned anything here as a URL. So yeah, so in the previous state, in the previous URLs, I have mentioned that /app. So that's why we have just mentioned like we are going to the application using /app. So instead of that, we can just do here is just type the server URL. Wow, see, that's simple, nothing else. So if you want to create a to-do as hi, so you can just create hi. And if you are done, like I want to eat something, I want to eat something, I can just add it out. And if I'm done with this to thing, then I can just click on it. It will just strike it off. And if I want to delete like completed ones, so I can just delete the completed ones that are strike it off. And if I want to delete all, then I can just do delete all. See, I've just created a thing as well that this field is mandatory. That's why if you want to add anything, you can add it. If you're bored, then you can just add it. Delete. Okay, first you have to add. Yeah, so delete complete as I haven't completed anything and just delete it. So that's it. Like this is the basic to-do app that we are trying to like would have done. We are trying to create. I hope everyone has understood the basic flow of Django. And if you need any like this templates, then I will be just providing you. I'll be sharing you the link. You can get it here. Okay, this is not the actual share link. This is the editable link. Fine. If you want to edit it, it's fine. Have a copy as well. So yeah, that's it from my side for today's session. Thank you. If anyone has any doubt, they can ask me. It's fine. For the video, yeah, you can get it. You can just ask your call. Actually, I'm not from your college, so you can just ask them. You can get it from there. They will provide you. If you need any materials, then I can just give you all the links that I have. I will just post it in the chat right now as well. Both the links, like all the application link and the Git link. Anything else do you need me to talk after the session? Like, you can just ping me on LinkedIn, and you should have a LinkedIn profile right now because most of the actual companies expect you to have it. So yeah, just this PPT link. I'll just give you all the links that I have, and then my actual talk link where all the explanation have mentioned it there. Oops, not this one. Yes. Django basic. Yeah, these are the links which will be really helpful for these projects. But I must say, if you really want to explore more about Django, there are certain blogs. Okay, did just direct message? Oh yeah. So sorry, I'll just message to each and everyone in the chat. Yeah. So link not visible. Yeah, Prerna. I just by mistake direct message to Aryan. Now it will be visible in the chat box. Yeah, so I was just saying that if you want to basically like go more deep into the Django, it's best to go to the documentation and read the documentation. You will get a lot of things to get brush it up and get a lot of things that you can do in Django, like creating a REST API or creating a lot more and a lot more. Like not only a REST API, you can do a lot of things. Like you can just take a like make a team of 4 and participate in a hackathon, and then just go there and like use your skills that you have developed in Django and use it there. So it will give you an actual experience as well. You can just go to Google Summer of Code. You can just apply for Django internship Yeah, providedly like you should know a Django a lot. That's the main criteria, nothing else. And you can do a lot of things. I hope everything like everyone everyone get a hang of Django or a hang of Django kind of. If anyone has any doubt, they can ask me. I will be in the meet for the next 10 minutes. Till then, anyone have any doubt, they can ask me. And I hope that a form has been shared. If you want to like just fill the form.
Just a second, sir.
Yeah,
I
sure.
request Damni to please give a vote of thanks.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Good afternoon to everyone present here today. Today, on this auspicious occasion, I'd like to take the golden opportunity to present the vote of thanks. On behalf of all of us, I'd like to thank Mr. Amit Chabria for taking out time from his busy schedule to help us know more about Django. I'd also like to thank the CS department for conducting this workshop, which helped us all understand what exactly is Django and how we can use it to maintain websites. It's my pleasure to thank everyone who made this webinar possible. And thank you, Mr. Amit, for helping clear our doubts about this topic and tell us about its features. Last but not least, I'd also like to thank my fellow classmates for enthusiastically attending the webinar. I hope that everyone has a great day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Thank you, Amit sir. Monish will end the meeting. Monish, you can end the meet.